Paris, France, where iron reaches for the sky, where stone remembers the past, where streets move in quiet harmony, and food becomes culture. This is a city shaped by history and lived through the senses. This is the beginning of our Europe series, and there is no better place to start. Welcome to Grand View World. The Louvre is more than a building. It is an archive of human ambition. Long before it became a center of art, this space was shaped by power, expanded, reimagined, and redefined by generations who believed architecture could communicate authority. Over time, that power transformed into something far more universal: knowledge. Walking through the Louvre is like walking through centuries of human thought. The scale alone is overwhelming, not designed to be consumed quickly, but to be experienced slowly. Corridors stretch endlessly, rooms open into rooms, each carrying the weight of a different era. What makes the Louvre remarkable isn't just what it contains, but what it represents. The idea that creativity deserves preservation, that human expression, across cultures and centuries, belongs to everyone. Light plays a crucial role here. Sunlight filters through courtyards and glass, merging old stone with modern transparency. It's a reminder that history does not need to be hidden, it can be illuminated. The Louvre is also a symbol of transformation. Once a seat of monarchy, it now stands as a public space, open, democratic, shared. Few structures in the world so clearly show how cities can evolve without erasing their past. In Paris, progress does not replace memory, it builds around it. When the Eiffel Tower was first built, it was never meant to last. Designed as a temporary structure, it was once criticized as an eyesore, too industrial, too modern, too bold for the Paris skyline. And yet, that boldness is precisely what allowed it to endure. The tower represents a turning point, a moment when engineering became art. Iron, once purely functional, was transformed into elegance. Structure became silhouette. Rising above the city, the tower doesn't dominate, it observes. From above, Paris becomes a pattern, streets radiating outward, rooftops aligned in harmony, life moving in all directions at once. What makes the Eiffel Tower powerful is not just its height, but its symbolism. It represents innovation, risk, and the courage to challenge tradition. It stands as proof that cities must occasionally dare to be misunderstood. At night, when the structure glows against the dark sky, it becomes something else entirely. A beacon, not of conquest, but of imagination. Paris understands that progress and beauty are not opposites. Sometimes they are the same thing. Arc de Triomphe. Monuments are not just about scale, they are about remembrance. The Arc of Triumph stands at the intersection of movement and memory. Beneath it, traffic flows endlessly. Above it, stone figures stand frozen in time. This contrast is intentional. Life moves forward, but history remains. The structure is both celebratory and reflective, a place that honors achievement while acknowledging sacrifice. It reminds us that cities are shaped not only by success, but by struggle. Standing beneath the arch, the city feels larger, not in size, but in meaning. You are reminded that Paris has endured through conflict, transformation, and rebirth. The arc doesn't tell a single story, it holds many. And like the city itself, it allows interpretation. Paris does not dictate how it should be remembered, it invites reflection. From above, the city appears carefully composed. Buildings align in height and tone, streets intersect with purpose. Nothing feels accidental. This cohesion wasn't achieved overnight. It was planned, debated, enforced, and ultimately embraced. The result is a cityscape that feels calm, readable, human. There is a rhythm to Paris. Wide avenues give way to narrow streets. Open squares lead into quiet neighborhoods. The city breathes. This balance is what makes Paris livable. Density exists without chaos. Grandeur exists without intimidation. It's a reminder that urban design is not just about efficiency, it's about emotion. Paris understands that how a city looks affects how it feels to live in it. This is where Paris stops performing and starts living. In small, open markets, people gather at simple tables, leaning into conversation, letting the city move around them. No schedules, no rush, just moments unfolding the way they're meant to. In Paris, even sitting still feels intentional. A spoon circles slowly through a cup of coffee. Steam rises. The sound blends into the city's rhythm. Soft voices, distant footsteps, life continuing just beyond the frame. These are the moments you don't plan for, but remember the most. On the street, food comes to life in real time. Batter pours. Heat rises. A familiar recipe is repeated with practiced ease. This isn't a performance, it's tradition in motion, passed hand to hand, day after day. Nearby, markets spill into narrow streets. Souvenirs catch the light, stacked high and hanging low, each one telling a slightly different story of the same place. Some are playful, some symbolic, but all of them carry the feeling of being here, even if just for a moment. Fresh produce adds color and contrast. Crates filled with fruits and vegetables break through the stone and steel of the city, grounding Paris in something simple and essential. This is where the city feeds itself, literally and culturally. Together, these scenes reveal something monuments can't. Paris is not just admired, it's lived. And to understand the city, you don't look up. You sit down, taste something warm, and let time slow around you. Every great city has a reason it exists. For Paris, that reason flows quietly through its center. Long before Paris became a capital of culture, art, and influence, it was shaped by water. The Seine determined where people settled, how they traded, and how the city expanded outward. It was the original route of connection, linking communities, carrying goods, and opening Paris to the wider world. Unlike cities built around speed, Paris grew around rhythm. The Seine set that pace. Its steady movement shaped daily life, commerce, and communication, becoming the city's most reliable constant through centuries of change. As Paris expanded, the river became more than a resource. It became a boundary, a guide, and a mirror. Neighborhoods formed along its banks, each developing its own identity while remaining tied to the same flowing center. Bridges followed, not just across the water, but to connect ideas, cultures, and lives. The Seine has witnessed everything Paris has endured. It has flowed through times of prosperity and conflict, revolution and renewal. While buildings rose and fell, borders shifted, and governments changed, the river remained, uninterrupted, observant, patient. Over time, its role evolved. What once carried trade and industry slowly transformed into a space for reflection and gathering. The banks became places to walk, to meet, to pause. The river no longer just moved through the city, it became part of how the city experienced itself. Light plays differently here. Reflections soften the city's edges. Stone becomes fluid. Movement slows. Along the Seine, Paris feels less like a destination and more like a conversation between past and present. This is where the scale of the city makes sense. Grand structures feel grounded. Busy streets feel distant. The river offers perspective, not by rising above the city, but by moving steadily through it. What makes the Seine extraordinary is its subtlety. It doesn't dominate the skyline or demand attention. It influences quietly, shaping behavior, mood, and memory. It teaches the city how to breathe. In many ways, Paris learned how to be Paris by following this water. Its sense of balance, its patience, its ability to hold history without being trapped by it, all of that is reflected in the river's flow. To understand Paris, you don't need to rush through its streets or climb above its rooftops. You simply need to watch the water move past, carrying centuries with it. The Seine is not just part of the city, it is the reason the city exists at all. And as Paris continues to evolve, the river will continue its quiet work, guiding, shaping, and reminding the city of where it began. Sacré-Cœur. High above the streets of Paris, the city begins to slow. The climb towards Sacré-Cœur is deliberate, lifting visitors away from the movement below and into a space shaped by reflection. From this height, Paris stretches outward in remarkable order. Its streets, rooftops, and rhythms revealing the careful design of the city itself. Sacré-Cœur stands here by intention. Built at the end of the 19th century, the basilica was designed as a place of spiritual reflection during a period of national uncertainty. Its location, overlooking Paris, was meant to symbolize watchfulness, stability, and renewal. Architecturally, the building is unlike much of the city around it. Its form blends Romanesque and Byzantine influences, with rounded domes, strong symmetry, and a presence that feels both ancient and timeless. The pale stone, known for its self-cleaning properties, allows the structure to maintain its brightness over time, giving Sacré-Cœur its distinctive appearance against the skyline. Inside, scale and simplicity work together. The space was designed to inspire contemplation rather than overwhelm, reinforcing the basilica's role as a place of calm above the city. Every element, from its proportions to its placement, was intended to lift the gaze and quiet the mind. Beyond its architecture, Sacré-Cœur has become a place of gathering, not just for worship, but for perspective. Artists, travelers, and locals have long been drawn here, not only to see Paris, but to understand it from a distance. From this vantage point, the city feels unified. Movement below becomes pattern. Noise becomes background. What remains is balance. Sacré-Cœur is more than a landmark. It is a reminder that Paris was designed not only for movement, but for meaning, and that sometimes understanding a city requires rising above it. At the heart of Paris stands a structure shaped by patience. Notre Dame was not built for a single generation. Construction began in the 12th century and continued for nearly 200 years, passing through the hands of countless builders, artisans, and craftsmen. Each generation added to it, knowing they would never see it completed. What emerged was not just a cathedral, but a collective achievement. Stone, shaped by time, faith, and human effort. Architecturally, Notre Dame represents one of the defining achievements of Gothic design. Its structure pushed the limits of what was possible at the time. Pointed arches, ribbed vaults, and flying buttresses allowed the walls to rise higher and thinner, opening the interior to light. This innovation transformed sacred architecture, replacing heavy stone mass with vertical movement and illumination. But Notre Dame was never only about design. It was built to serve as a spiritual and civic center, a place where religion, community, and identity converged. For centuries, it stood at the center of Parisian life, witnessing coronations, revolutions, celebrations, and moments of national grief. Over time, the cathedral endured neglect, damage, and changing attitudes toward history. Yet it survived, repeatedly restored by those who recognized its value not only as a religious site, but as a cultural one. Notre Dame became a symbol of continuity in a city constantly reshaping itself. In recent years, its vulnerability became undeniable. Damage reminded the world that even the most enduring structures are fragile. What followed was a collective response, an effort to preserve not just a building, but a shared heritage. Restoration became an act of remembrance and responsibility. Today, Notre Dame stands as both monument and lesson. It shows what humans can achieve when they build with purpose beyond themselves. It reflects a belief that some things are worth protecting, even when they take generations to complete. In Paris, progress often looks forward. Notre Dame reminds us to look back as well, not as nostalgia, but as foundation. Because cities do not endure by forgetting their past, but by choosing to carry it forward, stone by stone. Paris speaks through its architecture. Unlike cities shaped by rapid expansion, Paris was built through intention. Its buildings follow a shared visual language, one that values proportion, balance, and continuity over excess. This consistency is not accidental. It reflects centuries of planning designed to create a city that feels unified rather than fragmented. A defining feature of Parisian architecture is harmony. Building heights align, roof lines form steady patterns, materials repeat across neighborhoods, creating a sense of order even in the busiest areas. This visual rhythm allows the city to feel expansive without becoming overwhelming. Stone plays a central role. Many structures are built from locally sourced limestone, giving Paris its soft, pale appearance. Over time, this material ages gracefully, adding depth and character without losing cohesion. Rather than erasing signs of age, the city allows them to remain, reinforcing the idea that time is part of the design. Parisian buildings often follow a clear vertical structure. Lower levels are grounded and practical, designed for shops and daily activity. Above them, residences rise in repeating layers, with windows and balconies arranged in measured patterns. The uppermost levels retreat beneath sloped roofs, completing a skyline that feels elegant and restrained. This organization was carefully regulated. Urban planning placed limits on height, alignment, and facade design, ensuring that no single building disrupts the overall balance. The result is a city where architecture supports the experience of walking, living, and gathering, not just observation from a distance. Yet Paris is not uniform. Subtle variation exists within its structure. Ornamental details shift from street to street. Ironwork, stone carving, and window design reflect changing tastes across different eras. These variations add texture without breaking harmony. Residential architecture plays a vital role in shaping the city's character. Homes are designed to integrate with the street, encouraging connection between private life and public space. Balconies, windows, and doorways create a constant dialogue between inside and out. Modern additions exist as well, but they are often integrated carefully, respecting the city's established rhythm. Innovation in Paris tends to adapt rather than dominate, preserving continuity while allowing evolution. What makes Paris exceptional is not a single building or style, but the collective effect of many. The city feels designed not to impress momentarily, but to endure. Architecture here is not spectacle, it is structure, not isolated expression, but shared language. And through that language, Paris continues to define how cities balance beauty, function, and time. In a city shaped by movement, Luxembourg Gardens offers something rare: stillness by design. Created in the early 17th century, the gardens were planned as a space of balance, where nature and structure exist together. Paths are arranged with intention. Lawns are shaped, not wild. Every element reflects the idea that calm can be constructed, and that green space is essential to urban life. Unlike natural parks, Luxembourg Gardens follows a formal layout. Symmetry guides the eye. Open spaces invite rest. Tree-lined paths frame views carefully, allowing the city to fade into the background without disappearing entirely. Here, Paris slows itself down. The gardens were designed not only for beauty, but for use. Chairs are placed to be moved, turned, and shared. Visitors choose where to sit, how long to stay, and what pace to keep. This flexibility transforms the space from something to admire into something to experience. Throughout the day, the gardens shift in purpose. Mornings are quiet and reflective. Afternoons fill with conversation and activity. Evenings bring a softer energy, as the light changes and the city feels more distant. Yet the atmosphere remains consistent, calm, open, welcoming. Luxembourg Gardens reflects a Parisian belief that public spaces should serve everyone. It is a place where rest is not rushed, where presence is encouraged, and where nature supports daily life rather than escaping from it. In a city known for density and structure, this space reminds us that balance matters, that cities endure not only through buildings and streets, but through places that allow people to pause. Luxembourg Gardens is not an escape from Paris. It is part of how Paris breathes. When the sun sets, Paris doesn't slow down. It changes rhythm. As daylight fades, the city shifts into something more intimate and electric. Streets glow softly. Reflections stretch across pavement. Conversations grow louder. Laughter spills outward. And the energy of the day gives way to something lighter, freer. Cafes fill as chairs turn toward the street. Tables gather friends, strangers, and stories in motion. The city becomes a backdrop to connection, unplanned, spontaneous, and alive. Night in Paris is social by nature. It invites participation. Music drifts from open doors, glasses clink, footsteps echo against stone. The pace is relaxed but constant, creating a sense that everything is happening at once, yet nothing is rushed. Here, nightlife isn't about spectacle, it's about atmosphere. Streets that felt structured by day soften under evening light. The architecture seems warmer, less formal, as shadows add depth and texture. The city feels fun and inviting, shaped not by design, but by presence. Markets, restaurants, and late-night gathering spots remain active, offering food, conversation, and energy well into the night. This is a city that knows how to extend the day without exhausting it. Even after midnight, Paris feels welcoming rather than overwhelming. Movement continues everywhere. Couples wander without destination. Groups linger longer than planned. Individuals walk alone but never feel isolated. The city holds them all, connected by light, sound, and shared space. What makes Paris at night unique is its balance. There is excitement without chaos, energy without excess, celebration without urgency. The city allows people to stay out, to stay present, and to enjoy the moment without pressure. Night reveals a different Paris, less monumental, more personal. It's a time when the city belongs equally to locals and visitors, to conversations and quiet moments alike. As the hours pass, the city doesn't fade, it settles. Paris at night is not an ending to the day. It's a continuation of the experience, a reminder that this city lives in every hour and shines brightest when it's shared. Paris is a city shaped by moments as much as monuments. It's found in the way history and daily life share the same streets, in how careful design creates balance, and in how movement and pause exist side by side. From wide avenues to quiet gardens, from flowing water to glowing nights, Paris reveals itself not all at once, but gradually. This is a city built to endure, not by standing still, but by evolving without losing its center. Its architecture speaks of intention, its public spaces invite connection, and its rhythm encourages us to slow down and notice what's around us. Paris doesn't demand attention, it earns it. As this journey comes to an end, what remains isn't just what we've seen, but how the city made us feel. Grounded, curious, present. Paris leaves an impression that lingers long after the streets fade from view, and that is the mark of a great city. Thank you for visiting Paris with Grandview World. We'll see you on the next trip.